It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Portland Trail Blazers going up against the Denver Nuggets. Looking at Denver, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. And here in the early going, some teams already fulfilling their potential while others struggling out of the gate. Shaq, how big a deal are these initial outcomes?
Ernie, let me tell you something. I hated losing, period. Didn't matter if it was early, late, whatever. I expected to win every time out.
Well, the reality is of it, you have 82 games. So if you get too high or too low in your little valleys or your peaks, you're going to be in big trouble. But every loss and every win does affect home court advantage if you're a veteran team trying to make the playoffs and trying to win.
At the shooting guard position, standing 6'5", number 33, O.J. Mayo. At small forward, standing 6'8", number 35, Trevor Ariza. Manning the middle, standing 6'11", number 24, Mason Plumlee. Starting at the other forward position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 23, Draymond Green. Starting at the other guard, 6 feet 7 inches, number 1, Mr. Move. The head coach for your home team is Terry Scott.
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. It's the Denver Nuggets taking on Portland. And folks, Bradley Beal will not be in the lineup, out with the injury.
Well, it's going to be a few weeks until he's back, but that's not as bad as it could have been. It could have been much worse. In the end, given the way it looked when he was helped off the court last game, I think he'd consider that good news.
I don't think there's any doubt. You know, when you watch that live, that injury seemed to be far worse. So still, small comfort for him having to sit these next few weeks out, but hopefully he'll be back soon.
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. For Reed and Nurkic in the middle. Will Barton is out there with Harris, and it's Chandler in at the 3 spot.
And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
They get it back. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Mr. Moves, and another 3 for Portland.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
The Nuggets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Harris outside. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
So for the Nuggets, their last game, a loss to Golden State.
How about the shooting percentage, though? In the low 30s. That tells you.
Woo. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the 2-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. And it's out of bounds to the Nuggets. There's 1:17 left here in the opening quarter. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Earlier I spoke with Mike Malone. He stressed how important being smart with the ball is going to be for them today. It's an opponent that thrives on defense, steals in particular, and he doesn't want to see his guys get careless with the basketball. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. Taking on a defense like the one they're facing today has certainly got their attention.
You know, you have to watch film on them for a few minutes to see how sturdy they are defensively.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no surprise they spent the bulk of their preparations getting their offensive game plan in place and ready to roll.
Here's Mr. Moves. 17 points in the game. And another three for Portland.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
There's 31 seconds left to play in the first. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
You have to like what we've been seeing from Mr. Moves.
He's dialed in from long range. They've got to stay in his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
Laverne passes to Moutier. Got a piece of it. And now Portland on the break. Here's... Oh! Man, oh, man.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Well, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
No one near Moutier as he lets it go. And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. Portland out in front, running away with this one. And will return shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, dance team.
Welcome back, everyone, to lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustles.
You know, points off turnovers can be a very telling stat. And we've seen a few of those from them already.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter to play. So on the floor for Denver, Will Barton is out there with Harris. Then there's Boris Diaw. Then it's Wilson Chandler. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Chandler.
And this has been a comedy of errors. I mean, you can just add another one to the list.
Here's Mr. Moves. And again, it's Portland converting.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel. And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there. Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim.
Well, after that great first quarter from outside, he's cooled down here.
Barton kicks to Fareed. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
All right, a chance to look at the numbers for Mr. Moves. He's coming off an excellent season. First in scoring, first in assists, and we can't forget the league leader last season in steals per game, making a huge impact defensively.
Yeah, and that's what made him #1 last year. You can't stop him, and you really can't contain it.
A minute 42 left here in the second. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams.
Do they love to run? I mean, nobody did it better. They would get out in the lanes and push the ball even after makes.
So it's Denver now. Diaw dishes to Harris. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Mayo, the pass to Mr. Moves. And stolen by Harris. And oh, here we go at Jenkins. And nobody is back. Harris outside. Doubled by Plumlee, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. And the Nuggets with some changes. Laverne, he's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Papanikolaou comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Cloutier in for Harris.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, but quality looks at the rim, that's fueling this run.
Now here's Moutier. To the inside. Jokic passes to Jenkins. 5 to shoot. And an air ball on that one. Way off. For Portland, they won their last contest, that game against the Los Angeles Lakers.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumping.
Portland shooting their first free throws of the night right here. And the first one at the line is good. And the Nuggets making a change here. And so he hits both. There's 10 seconds left in the first half.
And they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They just keep adding to their lead.
Well, it's never a good idea to back off and ease up. And it doesn't look like that thought's even crossed their mind. I love it.
7 seconds left in the first half of the game. It'll count. And he trains the three, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And even though, you know, you're thinking maybe we don't need the replay in a situation like this, still plenty of time left in this game. And really, it's about getting the call right.
Yeah, and the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing up the footage for the officials on the floor. The new process is making for quicker turnarounds, I think.
And they've overturned the call. The replay was conclusive, and that one's going to count.
And Kevin, an example of why it's good to have replay.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. And Kenny, what did you see from Portland?
They're going right to the rim, finishing every chance they...
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Mr. Moves. He's got 41 points and 10 steals. Not missing much. In fact, hitting just about everything he's taking.
And Clark, the question is, how long can he keep it up?
Green is out there with Plumlee. Then it's Mayo. Then there's Mr. Moves. And it's Ariza in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Here's Barton, guarded by Mayo. Right wing, Nurkic kicks to Chandler. No good on the triple.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Here's Mr. Moves, and he's got 41. Harris dishes to Barton. Green against Farid. And Harris wide open. He shoots, and another miss by Denver.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3. Yeah, real nice shot selection there. I guess he's working on his buzzer beater form.
That's a reach, but perhaps that is the case. Or maybe he was trying to knock a bird off of the scoreboard.
He's about right. Because I still can't figure that one out.
No, and I see no birds up there.
No.
Moutier, he's checked in for Barton. Jenkins, the pass to Moutier. He feeds it to Jenkins. The 11-footer. Plumlee with the rebound. Portland's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Out of bounds, Portland takes possession. And so here's Portland. Nothing yet for them in the third quarter, and going against Denver, their first meeting of the season.
And they were unbeaten against this club last season. Not surprising considering where they both finished in the standings.
Yeah, it's really plain as pound cake. They're the better team. I mean, they'll look to prove it again here tonight.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Here's Mr. Moves, sinks the triple. Mr. Moves got 44.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Knocks it loose, so it's Portland again turning it over. That is good. Ariza's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Shot is off. Now the Nuggets take it the other way.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And Jenkins kicks to Papanikolaou. There's the dish to Jenkins. Shoots. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, men's team.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Portland's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc, 6 of 15. And Denver will start the fourth quarter with. They've got Harris. He's out there with Will Barton. And it's Diaw in at the 4. Pass to Barton. Poked loose. And now Portland on the break. Here's Mr. Moves. And another three from Portland. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Portland.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
Out of bounds, Portland's edge possession.
And no clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
From deep three-point range, here's Ariza. And again, it's Portland converting.
They have got to box out better than that. That putback's just another example of what a difference there's been between these two teams.
Screen by Fareed. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Chandler. There's 1:47 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Mr. Moves. Knocks down the three ball. Mr. Moves got 53.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep. And one team is just completely outclassed. And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Jenkins, he's checked in for Denver. And counting, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
And it's the Nuggets ball. Nothing doing offensively yet for them in the fourth.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
We've got 1:08 left in the game. Wasted no time on that one. Mr. Moves got 58.
Just dialed in from the three-point line in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on them with the triple.
To end the run, Chandler, no good. Portland's gone to three-point range for 12 of their points in the final quarter on 4 of 5 shooting. Here's Mr. Moves. Launches it. And another three for Portland.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Boy, I love the serious killer instinct they've shown, finishing strong.
Plumlee with the steal. And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
Sure can, because they've earned the win.
The kick out to Mayo. Here's Mr. Moves. For the three, gets the bucket.
Well, they're going to walk out of here with a win and send this crowd home happy.
Yeah, you know, it was a real solid performance.
Day and night.